dear friends, honored guests, colleagues, and fellow delegates. And I especially want to honor the guests from Nigeria. Comrade Philip Saibu, Deputy Governor of the state. Barrister Joseph Kama, Honorable Minister of State for Health. Chief Nosayaba Collins Imandon Mwinyu, Ansoba of Benin Kingdom, representing the King of Benin the King of Benin, Chief Kingdom, almost right. Chief Prince Igehan, who is here. We are very pleased, and I'm very happy for my friend Dr.OSAHON and ENABULELE that you are here. Dear hosts, President Dr. Klaus and the German Medical Association, who are so generous hosting us here in your wonderful city of Berlin. Again, dear colleagues, dear friends, thank you for gathering, for being part and contributing to the medical community. We are thankful that we can finally meet in person for the World Medical Association's General Assembly. The value of meeting in person cannot be measured. As Warren Buffett said, you'll never see eye to eye if you never meet face to face. My presidential year has had many obstacles to meeting in person. Many of you are dear friends, and I've seen the joy on your faces when greeting each other after so long apart. It was a great honor for me as president to absorb you entering this place, General Assembly, where we greeted each other with such pleasure. It warms my heart. I'm very glad that the Netherlands are back in the WMA, and we are better together. I have worked with Cuba as an example for many years, and I hope that they would have joined as members again in the WMA. They were very close before the pandemic, and I hope they will finalize their membership in the near future. As I said, we are better together. Our work is highly dependent on actually getting together to trade ideas and exchange views. Solutions to complex problems occur by working as a team, slowly taking one step after another together. Our work is challenging and thought-provoking. As the Chinese chorus goes, we live in interesting times. Difficulties remain due to echoes of the pandemic, but also diseases and other humanitarian catastrophes. The WMA has a duty to work together, stand for humanity, and advocate for the highest ethical standards. During my year as president, we have advocated for equitable distribution of COVID vaccines and pushed for sufficient capacity in our vaccine programs. Still, the world has not caught up. Coupled with the influence of anti-vaccination campaigns, pandemic issues led to measles outbreak in Zimbabwe as an example, leaving more than 700 children dead. Those of you who read the New York Times this morning might have also noticed that we had an Ebola outbreak in Uganda, and especially about this news was their mentioning of out of 10 deaths, 4 were healthcare workers. Supply chain issues and conflicts have made caring for the world population an incredibly complex proposition. War crimes that seemingly occur daily are cruel and unacceptable. We have numerous reports of systematic violence against women and children in these war zones. The WMA condemns the ongoing attacks on the Ukrainian people, and we will hold on to that. We condemn the attacks on healthcare workers and facilities, and I'm proud that we have continued to uphold these condemnations. WHO tracks confrontations and counts some 800 attacks on healthcare globally this year. That's a record this year, and it's not a nice one. This is unacceptable, as I said. And as president of the WMA, a few minutes more, in my valedictory speech, I urge the WMA that we are needed more than ever. Refugees pour across borders, humans fleeing for their lives, creating incredible healthcare challenges. And we are needed. I started off advocating for more global governance, better global governing structures. I'm very happy to have established a connection to the UN Political Governance section and their division of healthcare management and occupational safety and health in their work with the code of conduct of medical ethics. I hope to continue with that in the present years, and I hope that the WMA can contribute in their work. I hope to spend even more time building more robust global governing institutions during my presidency. The world needs more collaboration, and WMA has a critical role in this process. Well, sadly, we've had to focus on war, threats of nuclear weapons, and attacks on healthcare workers and facilities. Healthcare is a vital part of society, and healthcare workers should be considered neutral in any conflict. Instead, we have become targets. The attacks on healthcare facilities have reached never-before-seen levels, and the crimes against civilians and those who care for others are horrible in war, but also in many zones not in war. Attacks on healthcare workers is increasing. And this is a global disgrace, I would say. This is an attack on society. Therefore, we are needed. WMA is needed together. So, we're forced to focus on growth threatened by nuclear weapons. And Russia continues to place the plant, I would say, in peril, partly by failing to safeguard Ukraine's nuclear power plants, but also through the war. And mentioning and threatening to unleash nuclear weapons is a severe threat. I'm very happy that WMA has taken a confirmed stand and position against nuclear war, nuclear weapons. The power plant Zaporizhzhia in Ukraine has been disconnected from the power grid for the first time in its history, and that's threatening. Many of you vividly recall Chernobyl, and in the blink of an eye, this regional crisis could become a global health disaster. Every position should take notice and condemn this irresponsible behavior. Immense human suffering continues, and the WMA opposes flagrant violence of fundamental human rights. We demand allegations of war crimes be investigated and those responsible brought to justice. As physicians, working integrated in society, meeting people on all stages and situations, we have deep insights in struggles of humanity. Violence and injustice is not isolated to war. Violence against women is still widespread in the world. Most violence against women is within the family, in a close relationship, often perpetrated by a partner. I'm proud to stand for those without voice and foster equity and equality in the name of WMA. Like you, I have been living in a virtual world. Despite this challenge, you have graciously invited me to meet, even online. I feel so humbled by your generosity. To all I have met this year, thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. I've been constantly impressed by your persistence and sustained enthusiasm. Thank you for funding the Ukrainian effort to provide critical medical equipment as well, funding the Ukrainian health fund. Pandemic echoes struggle through society in general, and the medical community in particular. I have to mention the pandemic. Again, more than 600 million cases worldwide and over 6.5 million deaths. WMS estimates between 80 to 180,000 healthcare professionals have succumbed to COVID. Every day, death is tragic, but the downstream effect on society because of healthcare rights loss is compounded. Adding to these losses are thousands leaving our ranks early. Many, if not most, have left due to fear, burnout, and the overlooked feeling of helplessness. We're worried that they can no longer make a difference. We must continue to invest in vaccines, but other measures to aid our colleagues must occur. This pandemic will not be our last, and those who do not learn from the past are condemned to repeat it. WMA demands that governments and other stakeholders recognize the personal risk healthcare professionals incur and make every effort to protect them. I would especially highlight the work of the Indian Medical Association that has been so firm on this stand. You are role models in this. Thank you. And other professionals tell me the pandemic directly correlates to mental health epidemic. While crisis level patients seek aid, few find help. Our colleagues have been devastated by many leaving the profession or cutting back. Those that remain are overwhelmed by the unbelievable need. Our colleagues say, as incredible as the current mental health numbers are, they are both underreporting. This does not begin to address the issue without our professional ranks. The response collected from the 1,119 healthcare workers surveyed in the US indicated that they are stressed out and stretched too thin. 93% of the healthcare workers were experiencing stress, and 86% reported experiencing anxiety, 77% reported frustration, and so on, and burnout. Again, our US colleagues and AMA has done tremendous work putting this up on the political agenda. Also, thank you so much. We have been able to use your numbers all over the world, and it helps. I have fostered engagement in One Health, the WMA initiative promoting human health and animal health and a sustainable environment. None of these exist independent of the others, and an integrated and unified balance is needed. COVID-19 is not over. It will not be the last pandemic. Actually, some of the most common diseases now are transferred from zoonosis. Healthcare needs to transform in order to give access to all. Signs are everywhere that we are critically at capacity to provide healthcare for our entire civilization. Sometimes crisis is the crucible needed to make substantial change. So let's change healthcare. And I believe WMA could lead. While I'm very proud of our work modernizing the International Code of Medical Ethics, I'm deeply concerned about the growing violence against physicians this year, as I mentioned. I think we should hold on and work with that. And I'm confident that my predecessor, Dr.OSAHON, will continue this very important work. I wish to thank you all, and I wish to especially thank Sunny Park, Clarissa Long, Magda Mihaila, Nigel Duncan, and the other WMA staff for their support despite the effort required secondary to the pandemic and geopolitical conflicts. I thank my fellow executive committee members for our close collaboration in these challenging times. Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Kloiber, Dr. Barr, Dr. ENABULELE, Dr. Kakuta, and Matsugara, and Dr. Rankedar, Dr. Hermansson, Dr. Park, and Dr. Roth. Special thanks to Thomas Hedmark, a remarkable, efficient, and professional colleague, and a reliable co-worker. Thanks to the Swedish Medical Association and our strong and talented President Sofia Rydgren Stahler. Thanks to Torsten Mosberg, Chair of the Ethics Committee. You've been an invaluable colleague with your humbleness and sharp mind. Not to mention your ability to sing. Let's see if you will sing with us tonight. Most importantly, I thank my family, especially my beautiful girls, Nora and Freya. We cannot be here today because of school partly, but also because of my parents are not here. My daughters have been patient and waited during long meetings and longer working hours. They have a whole gallery of pictures of me working at my computer every holiday and weekend for many years. They have grown up in a special situation with me around. When they returned from school, they said, funny, none of the other children know the ministers around, and they have been in a special environment, and now they have realized that seeing mom on television isn't what everybody else does, but to them that was part of their day, and they have been part of this due to my parents, but they need me to come home now. I thank my wonderful and always strongly supporting parents. I owe them everything. And they couldn't be here, we couldn't arrange it, but we did. Finally, you have my humble gratitude for entrusting me with this office. It is a challenging and unique position. But it is foremost a unique position, and every day I strive to surpass expectations of those who have given me this opportunity of a lifetime. My presidency was deeply affected by the pandemic and the war, but we adapted. We in leadership are volunteers and temporary volunteers at that. It's vital to an organization's future to recognize this and realize that for the organization to grow and improve, the old must give way to the new. I must proceed to a new position. We need to constantly invigorate the World Medical Association in order to make it relevant to every member every day. I am fortunate to be succeeded by Dr.OSAHON ENABULELE, a colleague that I value highly. I'm confident he will honor the office, and I wish him great success. It has been a fantastic journey. Now my role as president has come to an end, and I want to thank you for being my colleagues and friends, and that will never end. Thank you so much.
As the president of the World Medical Association, and we have just seen this emotional endurance, you endear yourself to the members of this association through all your efforts to maintain and protect our interests. You've been so diligent all the time, and you have helped the medical profession worldwide. All those of you who came into contact with you were deeply impressed by your wisdom, your care, your understanding, your motivation, and your empathy. As a token of the appreciation of this association, which you have served so faithfully, I would like to represent you with the past President's Medal. This medal is not only a piece of metal, but it also entitles you to lifetime membership of the World Medical Association with all the rights and privileges provided by the Constitution and the bylaws. And now I would like to invite Dr. Innauguration to come up to me to the podium. And it says exactly my height. And in recognition of his distinction in medicine and contribution to our profession, Dr.OSAHON ENABULELE has been elected to assume the office of President of the World Medical Association this year. Dr. ENABULELE, I now call upon you to take the oath of office of the President.
I, Dr.OSAHON ENABULELE, solemnly promise that I shall carry out the duties of the Office of President of the World Medical Association to the best of my ability. I shall strive constantly to maintain the honor and protect the interests of the medical profession. I shall uphold the Constitution and bylaws of the World Medical Association, support the principles of the International Code of Ethics, dedicate myself and my office to fulfilling the spirit of the Declaration of Geneva, and champion the cause of freedom in the practice of medicine. I shall endeavor to promote closer ties among the doctors of the world, assist all people to attain the highest possible level of health, and in so doing, promote world peace through the maintenance of the noble traditions of the medical profession. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you.
It is now my privilege and honor to officially install you as the President of the World Medical Association. Presenting you with the Presidential Medal as a sign of the honor that has been bestowed upon you.
Edo the king.
It is now my privilege to give you the President of the World Medical Association, and Dr. ENABULELE will now take over the podium and give us his inaugural presidential address.
Thank you very much. Dear hosts of this General Assembly, the General Medical Association, of course, the President of the General Medical Association, dear friends, dear colleagues, distinguished guests, Comrade Philip Shuaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Barrister Joseph Ekumakaba, the Home Minister of State for Health Nigeria, Dr. Salman Ibrahim Anas, the Director of Family Health, Ministry of Health Nigeria, Chief Nosayaba Collins Imadomi, the Iron Soba of Benin Kingdom, representing Oba of Benin, the King of Benin, Omonobanedo Okwa Okolo of Iwari, the second Ugiligan CFRO, Oba Tope.
Yes, sir.
My mom, who is here seated, Evangelist Rachel Innauguration. Please stand up for recognition, mommy. My beloved wife, Associate Professor John Innauguration, and my children, represented by my son, Master Efosa Innauguration. Brothers and sisters, esteemed friends from within and outside Nigeria, the Chief Medical Director of University of Teaching Hospital, Professor David Obaseki, and other participants here present. I welcome you all with profound joy, humility, and a deep sense of gratitude and responsibility to my inauguration as the 73rd President of the World Medical Association, having been democratically elected in October 2021. I congratulate the General Medical Association on their 75th year anniversary and for successfully hosting this 73rd General Assembly. I wish them many more attainments and glories in the years ahead. I wish to express profound gratitude to our immediate past President, Dr. Hades Temestri, and all my predecessors in office for their tremendous efforts to promote and develop the World Medical Association to its present status. I shall make great efforts to consolidate upon your work, even as we seek to pilot the WMA to a higher pedestal. This occasion is very humbling for me and my family. It is one that evinces lots of emotions, considering the total uniqueness of the events, lasting experiences, and the long tortuous journey that characterized my over 15 years of engagement within the WMA that culminated in today's historic reality. Indeed, it evokes a great sense of pride for me and my country, Nigeria, being the first time since the formation of WMA 75 years ago that a physician from the West African region of the African continent of 54 countries, a physician from Nigeria, the most populous country in the African continent with a population of over 200 million people, and indeed a physician from the Edo State of Nigeria, the home of broadcasting in the entire world, has been elected to lead the World Medical Association. On behalf of the Nigerian Medical Association, my country Nigeria, the African continent, and particularly my wife and family, I wish to express profound gratitude to all national medical associations in all regions of the WMA and individual physicians across the globe for electing me to serve as president of WMA for the 2022 to 2023 executive year. Coming from an underrepresented and poorly understood African continent that is largely deprived of quality healthcare, I consider my election to the office of President of WMA as a significant opportunity and a call to make positive impact through leading initiatives that shall enhance the fortunes of the WMA as a whole, the well-being, rights, and professional autonomy of physicians across the globe, and strengthen healthcare systems of countries to help them achieve universal health coverage and the sustainable development goals. As the world transits to a post-COVID-19 pandemic era, I would like to draw attention to a few critical areas, particularly following lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic era. These include building resilient health systems, human resources for health, safety of physicians and other healthcare providers, public communication, and engagement of physicians. In building resilient health systems, the WMA will have to continue to champion the need for global solidarity in health, equitable access to vaccines and drug treatments, including their research and development, appropriate investments in health infrastructure, appropriate investments in the well-being and protection of physicians and other health professionals. WMA will have to continue to promote physician-led, multidisciplinary primary health care, ethical and person-centered care based on best evidence, and appropriate communication with patients, families, and the public in a way that secures their trust at all times. During my tenure, our leadership will uphold the vision and mission of the WMA and implement the WMA strategic plan with full responsibility as contained in Article 2 of the WMA Constitution. This will be our starting point, for we can only move higher. In line with the WMA strategic plan, the WMA will be an untiring advocate of global public health interventions to reduce or eliminate the staggering health inequities and inequalities across the globe. According to World Health Organization estimates, by the year 2030, the world will need about 18 to 20 million more health workers to attain universal health coverage. Therefore, to achieve UAC and SDG, the critical issue of human resource for health, which affects every country, even though worse in the low and middle-income countries, needs to be addressed robustly. The WMA shall advocate that countries take urgent steps to invest more in the well-being, working and living conditions of physicians and other health professionals. This is to help reduce or eliminate physical and mental burnout of physicians and the brain drain of physicians and other health professionals, especially from already underserved countries. To motivate physicians and other health professionals, WMA shall seek to establish a WMA Global Healthcare Excellence Award Scheme to reward excellence and the sense of duty, diligence, and uncommon commitment. WMA shall strongly promote and advocate a template on physicians' rights to go along with physician responsibilities as a countermeasure to the increasing risk and cases of violence against physicians and other health professionals. We shall also promote the practical implementation of the profound WMA Safe Healthcare Initiative. WMA is a rich repository of policy documents on virtually all health issues and continues to do important work in the area of medical ethics. While we shall promote ongoing efforts to revise the Declaration of Helsinki, we shall also seek to promote the practical application of the Declaration of Geneva and the revised International Code of Medical Ethics in the work we do as physicians. Undoubtedly, WMA has been doing great works since its establishment in 1947, in line with its objectives. But it is worrisome that many members in these regions still have little or no knowledge and appreciation of the great work the WMA does. To address the situation, the WMA shall encourage its constituent member enemies to engage their members more on the important work of the WMA. While as WMA president, we shall endeavor to create more visibility for the WMA and take the WMA to individual physicians through the organization of a quarterly regional roundtable to be called Meet the WMA President. This roundtable shall hopefully create greater awareness about the WMA, deepen membership integration and inclusiveness, correct wrong perceptions about the WMA, and drive greater participation of physicians and our constituent members in the affairs of the WMA. Sustained efforts shall also be made to strengthen and promote the work of the Junior Doctors Network and the associate members of the WMA. As the largest physician organization in the world, we shall continue to strengthen our partnership and our collaboration with governments and bodies such as the World Health Organization, the Medical Women International Association, the International Committee of the Red Cross, the World Organization of Family Doctors, the Commonwealth Medical Association, the World Veterinary Association, the International Committee of Military Medicine, the International Federation of Pharmaceutical Physicians, and many other organizations we cooperate with. Because of time, I want to state that in conclusion, it is commonly said that at times, history and faith meet at a single place to shape a turning point. Surely, after 75 years of existence, we are now at such a point in the life of our association, where if we must achieve our individual and collective dreams, we must be prepared to continuously organize for positive action. As we journey through the next 1 year and seek to advance the fortunes of the WMA, our noble medical profession, and health systems around the world, let us realize that our individual and collective actions will surely shape the course, character, and destiny of the WMA. Therefore, I urge all physicians and members of the WMA to commit to putting WMA first and make the needed efforts to pilot it and the health systems in the world to more progressive levels. I call on governmental and non-governmental bodies to join hands with the WMA in a collective quest to address the various challenges confronting the health and well-being of citizens, physicians, and other health professionals. At this point, I want to thank our Almighty and omnipresent Creator for His grace and blessings over the years. I'm grateful to all individuals and groups present at this occasion, and those at home in Nigeria and elsewhere who at various times played supportive roles in my journey towards the presidency of the WMA. You are all here this fall. I thank especially the Nigerian Medical Association and all physicians in Nigeria and Africa, and indeed all physicians across the globe for their varied support. I thank the federal government of Nigeria, the Edo State government, our revered Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedu Ukwa Okolo Obayewale II, Ogirigan CFRO, Oba Tokwe.
He said,
His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, CFRO MNI, the Sultan of Sokoto. The Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Sawaro Ibiledion, Yesama of Benin, CON CFRO. The Chief Medical Director, Professor Donathan Obasaki, and Management Board of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital where I practice. And the Chief Medical Director, Professor Christopher Bode, and Management Board of Lagos University Teaching Hospital, where I serve as a Management Board member for their very strong expression of support for my presidency. I must especially acknowledge the encouragement and support of my special guests, colleagues, friends, brothers, sisters, and in-laws from Nigeria, United Kingdom, United States of America, Finland, and elsewhere, who made it to this event. Please stand up for recognition. As well as the officers, thank you, as well as the officers, officials, and staff of both the WMA and the German Medical Association, who helped to facilitate the processing of visas. I thank you very special. I want to dedicate this day to my parents. My mother, who is here present, evangelist, 81-year-old, evangelist Rachel Ayi Innauguration. And my father, Elder Jonathan Innauguration JP, both of whom imbibe in me and my other siblings, cardinal and theological virtues, and inculcated in us a culture of discipline, selflessness, and a life of values. Sadly, my father, Elder Jonathan Innauguration JP, who had truly looked forward to a day like this, never had the opportunity to witness this moment, as he passed on in the year 2013, while I was away serving as president of the Nigerian Medical Association. Daddy, may your great soul continue to rest in perfect peace. I also dedicate this day to my wife, Associate Professor Dr. Joan Innauguration, and my children, Efosa Benedict Innauguration, Victoria Moroye Innauguration, and Osarone Michael Innauguration. Please stand up for recognition. I thank them for their ceaseless prayers, understanding, love, and care in all my years of struggle. In the face of difficulties and frustrating challenges, I thank you for always enduring my long absence from home in the course of my leadership endeavors. I thank my parents-in-law, my dear cousin, other siblings and in-laws, home and abroad, for their sustained prayers and support. I particularly thank my elder brother, who is here from the United Kingdom, Mr. Ernest Ogobo Innauguration, my elder sister, who is also here, Mrs. Akube Dorothy Egato, and my little dear sister, who is also here today, is Tracy Daosa, and their spouses for attending my inauguration and for their strong support over the years. Stand up for recognition, please. I'm exceedingly grateful to the Dr. Benson Local Deadline Killers inauguration team for their contribution towards the success of my inauguration. As we look forward to very exciting times ahead, I promise to work very hard to vindicate the initiatives that led to the birth of WMA by its founders. I promise to advance the principle of collectivism by working with other leaders and members of the WMA to provide an emotionally intelligent leadership with the transformation of the WMA into a beautiful symphony of comradeship that enables the efficient and effective implementation of the WMA strategic plans. I cannot end this address without paying special tribute to our colleagues who lost their lives as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. May their great souls continue to rest in perfect peace. My heart goes out totally to our colleagues in Ukraine and other troubled parts of the world who are battling to deliver care in the worst of human conditions due to wars, conflicts, disasters, sectarian crises, oppressive regimes, etc. I pray God to grant you all journey mercies back to your respective homes. I thank you very specially for your kind attention. God be glory. Thank you.
Thank you very much, what McCoy will help us with some housekeeping notes. I would like to just briefly mention something which is very often forgotten in this meeting, and that is that you see a certain rotation here on the head table now. And this means that David Barr today has his last meeting in his position as past president. And I would simply like to mention that David has done a fantastic job. He's had the problem of the whole period of his tenure to be under COVID restrictions. He has, however, done a magnificent job, helped us a lot, and we owe him a lot in the past. David, thank you very much for